Hey! Oh my God! Here we are! Krista, get in here. Hey, we're social distancing.
Kind of.
It's just the camera. It just makes it look like we're real close. We're good.
6 feet.
Hey, you guys. Hey, guys. Krista, since I'm having to video all the time, I've become much more aware of my chin, jawline. You seen those little workout videos?
No.
It's like you like bend over and you're like, it's supposed to like stretch it all out. Try it. Stick your tongue way out. Everybody try it at home. Come on, bend with me.
I feel like I'm
Pull
gonna...
it tight. You gotta pull with your core.
I feel
Okay.
like that's just a cause for Rona to enter my body.
Pull something. Guys, we're here. We are, we're making it. I really don't like not seeing you guys. I mean, this is not fun. I'll be real honest about that.
It's been 28 days. Just
28. Our intern, she's keeping track. It is not fun. But, hey, we are excited to be with you guys on a screen. And we just have a few things we want to share with you guys. And we want to challenge you. We want to invite you to be part of some of our interactive stuff this week. But, guys, it's Easter! Woo, woo, woo. Rona got nothing on Easter. Okay, so we are going to just kind of share a couple of things with you guys. I hope that you've been able to tune in and see the live stream of our Easter service this morning. And from your cozy pajamas or whatever you might be wearing, you seen all those things about like people like you don't know what's. I mean, really, they don't know what's underneath here.
No.
Yeah. We could be. Krista has fuzzy slippers and you don't even know it. Anyway.
But I do.
That was like some.
I've been doing yoga.
Yeah,
during quarantine.
Yeah, she's getting real flexible. And that knee she just had surgery with. Okay, so guys, we want to just kind of bring you a word and share with you and have fun with you. And so this week with Easter coming up, like just thinking forward to that and why that is so exciting, and really we celebrate Easter every day as believers and how cool that is and what this means for us. I mean, we're not eating chocolate Reese eggs, Reese cup eggs, like that would be great. If we celebrate Easter every day with one of those, start your day. Yeah. But we do get to live into the resurrection and what happened, and that's so exciting and so cool. And so we're going to look at that today. And so I'm going to invite you guys to all go grab your Bibles, get your Bible.
Just get your Bible. Just stop.
Okay. I mean, you've been watching all these videos, so it better not be dusty now, right? Okay.
No, shut it.
Okay. So we're gonna start off in Hebrews 11, and specifically, I'm looking like starting in verse 17. And if we look at that, we see this listing. I mean, it goes on for a really long time of all these people who have done incredible things and lived out their faith and conquered amazing things because they trusted that God was in control, and they trusted that this promise of Messiah was coming, and they are living so fully into that. And I think this is this beautiful thing as we look over the Old Testament. It's all this forward motion. It's all this people are excited about what's to come, and so they live into that and they lean into that and they trust that God has got it under control. And because of that trust, these incredible things happen. Because of that faith, these incredible things happen. And so if we look, starting in verse 17, and we can kind of skim through it, and it says, by faith Abraham, and then by faith Jacob, and then by faith Moses, and by faith the people, the Israelites, and then it names all these other names in verse 32 of all people who were just faithful and who did what God asked them to do, and they didn't. It was not because they felt like they had all the power in the world or that it made sense. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, we want to do something that makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense based on us. And God asks us to step out of that. And he asks us to do things that sometimes don't really make sense or don't really go along with what's going on around us or how we feel. He asks us just to trust and to go and to do. And so we see that. And then it's kind of like Paul says at the end of that chapter, like, but they didn't get to see the promise. They did all that, and they lived so faithfully, and they did incredible things, and they led God's people and build up communities and people of great faith, and how incredible that was. But they didn't get to see the promise, and so we look to it like, what is the promise? Well, the promise was the Messiah. The promise was this coming king who was going to rule and who was going to be victorious. And so they didn't get to see that. And so Paul points out as he's writing to the Hebrews, like, but you guys are on the other side of it, and you get to see it. You get to experience, like, this gift is for you. This promise is yours. Like, embrace it. Mm-hmm. And so then in chapter 12, he says, therefore, we got to go figure out what the therefore is there for. And he says, because of all that, because of these people who have gone before you, and you've seen them live out this incredible faith, even though they didn't even receive the promise, you have now received the promise. And so because you are surrounded by this great cloud of witnesses, because you have this great, people of faith to look to, people of faith, Old Testament, I think also we can look at people of faith that we've walked with here. I mean, we've seen God lived out and their faith lived out in the way they do life. Let us lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely. And so I look at that and I'm like, wait, well, I guess we could all, Corona got us gaining some weight here maybe, but that's not the way that Paul's talking about. Paul is talking about this hindrance. And so he says any kind of hindrances that is keeping you from running the race. What is it? It might not be sin, but it might be a hindrance. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's an activity you participate in. Maybe it's in too much activity, and so it's keeping you from really growing and being part of a community, or diving into the Word, or developing spiritual disciplines. Whatever is hindering that, whatever sin, get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And he says, let us run with endurance the race that is set out before us. And I think how beautiful that is. But then when I think about endurance, I always think strength. Like, I think I gotta really build up strength to be able to run something. I'm not a runner. I've never run. Have you been a runner?
In high school. And
like to run?
No, I was forced.
Okay. Yeah. See, I've never done it willingly. That's not been.
Now I do, just because I don't want quarantine to just swallow me up.
Yeah.
I've eaten 5, straight 5 chocolate chip cookies.
We deal with it all differently. But I think about endurance. I gotta get endurance to like do a lock-in with you guys, or to
stay all week at camp with you guys.
Yes, that takes hard. I mean, we rally. We talk about that constantly, like building it up. We got it. My
favorite thing is when new people come in, like new leaders, and they're like, "Oh, we got this." Day 2.
Yeah, it's rough. And so when I think of endurance, I think of that kind of thing. But if we look at this word here and what Paul was, the word that Paul was really using, it means that this patience which masters. Not a patience is just like, whatever. Mm-hmm. But a patience that masters, that's determined, that's steady, and it refuses to be deflected. And so just this ongoing trust, this ongoing movement forward. And then when we look, and Paul says the race, and he uses this word a lot when he writes, like this idea of running a race and having endurance. But the word race there is like conflict or struggle of many different kinds. And so what does that look like? It's not easy. And I think we see that. Like if we go back and we look at all of this in the end part of chapter 11, and we see all these people of faith, it says that they did all incredible things, but it also says it was really, really difficult. They struggled. They had a hard time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't easy. And so Paul's referencing that. Like, it's not easy. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be sunshine. But because of, he goes on to say, but because that, let me get this right. He goes on to say that we do this looking to Jesus, the founder, or we could say the author, the writer, the creator, and the perfecter of our faith. That word perfecter is also finisher, the completion of our faith. Mm-hmm. And how beautiful that is. And the other thing that's so cool is, like, if we go and really look at this word looking, It's like implying, it's a verb that's like also implying that we look away from everything else, and that we are so steadfast in looking directly at Jesus, and that we let everything else that's going on around us fall away, and we just trust wholeheartedly looking to Jesus. And how beautiful that is, the way Paul writes this. And he says, the perfecter of our faith, who for the whole world was set before him, endured the cross. And not just like, oh, he went through it, but endured it with victory. The cross, despising the shame, and seated at the right hand of the throne of God. So that's the beauty of this Easter, is that not only do we have these people behind us, but we look forward constantly because we know what Jesus did on the cross, and we know what that means for us.
Yeah. And
we know that we are running towards him. We have this life. We get to share in this glorification that he sit in the right hand of the throne of God. Like we get to participate in that. That's our end goal. That's what's so exciting about the resurrection, about this Easter Sunday, is because of what Jesus did on the cross, we now get to share in that. As we are running this race, we're becoming more like him. He is transforming who we are. We're doing life differently. We're impacting the people around us differently. And we have this beautiful end goal of life with Jesus eternally. And how incredible that is. And how we get to celebrate that this Easter. And so, friends, I just want to encourage you, as you are walking through this Easter Sunday, don't just let it just be an Easter Sunday where, we eat some good food, you dress up. I hope you dress up. You dress up to come to our youth group tonight on Zoom. Yeah. But let it be a time where you stop and you really just celebrate the race that you've been called to. And that you really get to celebrate that you're doing this race with the one who has conquered all. And you are doing this race with a victorious King who is calling you and is cheering you on and is at the finish line ready to receive you. It's for you.
Yeah.
How beautiful it is. Cool. You with me?
Cool.
All right. Okay, so before we end, we just wanted to share a couple things with you.
Some fun stuff.
So we were thinking about like stuff that you might want to do while you're in quarantine. And so the first thing we thought of is an old school movie. Let's bring it way back. Like I know that there's been a lot of things released recently, and I've been, I've kind of binged. I've stayed up on the top, on Netflix, and stayed up on the top of Disney Plus. Oof, and
that one's a good one.
Maybe that would be one of our. You need to see Onward. Onward's real good on Disney Plus. I'm a big fan of that.
Shit.
But old school movie. Our old school movie for this week that we encourage, and we would love to hear your feedback, is Cool Runnings. Yeah. Cool Runnings is fun, and it's got some sports to it.
You showed a clip of it on a Sunday night.
Yes, I have used it before in a talk. So go check out Cool Runnings.
It's a good movie, especially because apparently this was supposed to be Olympic year.
Yeah,
and the movie's about the Olympics.
Let's celebrate the Olympics. Okay. The other thing that we want to tell you about is this Easter Sunday, tonight, we normally wouldn't have student fellowship because it's Easter and you're doing stuff with your families. But because of the circumstance, life's a little bit different. So we want to invite you guys to come to Easter late night with us on Zoom. And we're going to have some fun doing that and some games. But there's a theme. There's a theme. We're asking you to dress your best for our Easter late night. And so just like you would dress up for church, we are inviting you to dress up for Zoom. And we will have some fun with that and take some pictures. And there might even be a little, walk the runway opportunity. Ooh. So get ready for that. It's going to be fun. And silly. And then the last thing that we wanted to tell you about is that we are going to do a challenge with you guys. And I would like to invite you to send us a 5-minute or minute.
Whoa.
Don't do that. I won't watch it that long. 5-second video or less of you acting out or
Quarantine's got you like.
showing us how you would end the saying, quarantine
got me like.
Quarantine got me like ...
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so if you would send those to us, we would really, really like that. You can text them, you can send them however you want. And we're going to put those together and just have some fun with that. So quarantine got me like ... Send us your best video, or it can be a picture, whatever you want. We're going to have some fun with that. All right. To end our time together, we are going to share a video from our friends over at Sunday Cool. Do you want to share? What is that video that we're going to show?
Quarantine with Carl.
We
all love Carl.
It's going to be good. Guys, so enjoy, and we will see you tonight, hopefully. That'd be great.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, sinners.
Hey guys, it's me, Carl. These are my tips for staying sane while in quarantine. Tune a banjo. Take a nap. It's one of the best ways to kill some time. Boost your confidence by fishing for compliments from a friend.
What about me do you like?
Call your Mama.
No, my mom. Planet of the Apes is not based on a true story.
Make sure to keep good hygiene. Google image TJ Maxx, just for the fun of it. Read a book.
The rum is always gone.
Tell secrets to your dog.
I killed a man.
Think of a new idea, like turning on a lamp. Become a peanut butter monster.
I'm a peanut butter monster.
Get to know your houseplants better.
I once ate 3 dozen eggs in one sitting. I haven't been the same since.
Scream. Take a nap. Start collecting cow manure. Wow, what a stack. But then realize you're not supposed to be outside, so quickly run back inside. Self-reflect. Is this really me? How did I end up in this body? What even is a body? And how are we all in these bodies on this giant rock floating through infinite space of nothingness? A dark, vast, cold, eternal nothingness. And then you realize how hungry you are. Cook an egg. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all these tips for staying sane while in quarantine. It's obviously helping me, so I'm sure it'll help you. Seriously, I've never been better.
Sometimes I'm afraid of the dark. To be honest, I've never seen a baby pigeon. I think Power Rangers is actually a really good show, and it was before its time. I haven't paid my taxes in 10 years. To be honest, I don't even know what a tax is. At this point, I'm just too afraid to ask. Turtles actually freak me out. To be honest, I lost my toothbrush about a month ago.